Hi everyone and welcome back to CodeNodes. In our previous video, we have briefly discussed for loops in C++ and in today's video, we are going to start a new topic and a very important topic in C++ and that is functions. So a function is a reusable block of code that performs a specific task. Let's understand it with our body organs. Consider your body as a full program and each of its organ is a function. Now you understand that your organs performs a specific task, like your lungs process the oxygen, your heart pumps the blood, and your stomach does the digestion for your body. And each organ has a specific task. So do the function has a specific task in our C++. And each organ performs a specific task and works independently but contributed to the whole program. Similarly, in C++, function itself is a simple program that works independently but contributes to the whole program. And each organ has inputs and outputs. So does the functions in C++ has some inputs and outputs. Let's understand it with our stomach. For example, your stomach takes food as input and processes it as its function and produce nutrients to your body as a result. Similarly, in C++, the function takes inputs, process it as operation and often returns result. Now, the functions are also called a method or procedure in different programming languages, but in C++ we called it function. Now that we know what functions are, now let's understand why should we use functions in our program. So here we have listed 4 benefits of why should we use function in our program. Number 1 is that code reusability. Suppose you are creating a calculator program and you have to perform operations like addition, multiplication, subtraction, etc. Without using functions, you would have write the same code again and again. Suppose you are using the addition operation in your program at multiple places with the new values. So you would write the addition operation code again and again. So overcome that, you just create a function for adding two numbers and use that with the new values wherever you need. So this makes the code error free and reduce the time. The second one is modular code. As I explained that you are creating a calculator program and you are doing the operation of addition, multiplication, subtraction and many more. So using function, we split our program into logical sections, into many functions. We create function for addition, multiplication and subtraction and many more. This makes our code modular and manageable for us. If we have to update any code, for example in the multiplication section, we just go to the multiplication function and make update there. The third one is readability and maintainability. When you already created a function and name the function multiplication of numbers, now when a new user see your code, he already knows by looking at the function name that this function is meant for multiplication. So if he need to update or change in the code, he will just go to the function, as it is very clear by the name that it is for multiplication without looking into the implementation of that function. So using function, your code becomes readable and maintainable. The last one is functions helpful in testing and debugging. For example, your program generates the output of a multiplication of two numbers incorrect. Now you know that the multiplication result is incorrect. So this time now you know that the multiplication function has some errors. Instead of doing testing on the whole code, now you know that there is something wrong in the multiplication section. So you just go to that function and fix that issue. So here we have listed down 4 benefits of functions, that why should we use them. Now that we understand the importance of function and why should we use function in our program, now let's look at the types of function in C++. So a function can be categorized into 2 types. Number 1, predefined functions. These functions are also called built-in functions or library functions. Means these functions are already built in C++ and we directly use them in our program. We do not decide the function name, what should be the input, what should be the output. We should just use them in our program. Like the square root is for calculating the square root of a number, and POW power, this is for calculating the power of any number. The parenthesis notation is defined that it is the notation of a function. The second one is user defined functions. These are the functions that user creates to meet any specific needs. For example, in our calculator program, we create add, multiplication, subtraction. These are the simple functions we create for a specific operations. Like my function ABC. In user defined function, a programmer decides what should be the name of the function, what should the function do, what should the function take inputs, and what should be the output the function produce. We have covered what is function, why should we use them, and how many types of functions there are. In our next video, we will see how actually we create a function and use them in our program. And that's it for today's video. If you find the video helpful, give it a thumbs up and do not forget to share the video and subscribe to CodeNodes. Thank you for watching.